Alright, so if you tagged along and you have done all these things we talked about, you should now have a setup ready to be used for casting. And you might be saying, alright, let's go. So there is some things to keep in mind. Well, first of all, as you start casting, just keep things simple, right? Focus on your actual casting. We talked a lot of all these different sources and all these different assets and all these things you can attach to your stream and whatnot. The biggest asset in your stream is you and your voice. That is you, your personality, how you entertain your viewers, how you talk about the game, all these kind of things. Everything which is you, that is the most important in your stream. So do not forget about that. All these other things I'm showing you here, you could basically also throw it all out of the window, and if you have an entertaining way of casting games, people will still watch your games. Alright, so keep that in mind. You are the most important one, the most important asset in your cast. So keeping things simple in the beginning is definitely worth it. Get some games under your belt. Do some casting with this simple setup. Just fiddle around with Soothsayer. You will find out like at which times is the best time to actually like tap out of the game and do these things in Soothsayer. Update the information about map picks, update the information about score and whatnot. All of that needs a little bit of practice, but it can certainly be done. So after you have a couple of casts under your belt, we can be ready for more advanced things. You can then start looking into the following episodes and see what of these things you would like to try out in your cast. So to get actual games, I'm quickly gonna talk about that, and this is probably the part of the video which is getting outdated the quickest, because the way leagues run their casting organization is changing from season to season. So what I'm showing you now might already be outdated. If we want to cast a game on Nexus Gaming Series, for example, it would go something like this. So once you are a caster, you have here your casting tools, and you would go to caster dashboard and you select the division you want to cast in, for example eWest. Then it loads a little bit, and maybe we are in round 5. There's nothing scheduled here, so let's go to East. Nothing scheduled here either. The page is failing me. Why is nothing happening here? Okay, here we go. Something is happening. Okay, so once you found a game which you want to cast, you would go and click one-click claim. But this will only work if you have actually set up your casting information in here. So you go to Caster Tools My Casts, and then you click here on Edit, put in your name, put in your Twitch account, Twitch URL, and then you can save that, and then this one-click claim will work. Okay, so we would have to find that again. So that is how it is working on NGS right now. On Heroes launch, it's kind of similar. You have a casting schedule, and then games show up here, and you can click a button to apply to cast these games, and usually it is being decided fairly quickly, and then you are signed up. And there's a lot more information out there. You should definitely talk to the league's headcasters and to the persons in charge who are determining how casting should be performed in their league. It's always good, like even if you are an experienced caster, it's always good to check back with them and check what are the current rules. For example, how much delay do you need to set into your stream? Remember that is over here under advanced. You want to put a duration in there which is conform to what the league demands. And so this is how you actually claim the casts. And when you are not casting and you're looking for simple ways to improve your casts, here are some things you can do. I would highly recommend watch and learn from other folks' casts. And not every caster is everyone's cup of tea. Like there's a lot of different styles of casting. Some people are more energetic, some others are more laid back, some are very narrative and only talk about what is actually happening in the game right now. Others are more theory crafting and talk more about talents and whatnot. Everyone has their own style, and you should check them out. You should check them out and see which of these styles you think is interesting and appealing to you, and see then, like, okay, what are these persons doing when there is, for example, some time to fill in the draft, when there's like the countdown running down. What are they actually talking about? Usually silence is kind of bad in your cast, unless you like really want to express that you are completely stunned out by whatever happened right now. But usually you want to like keep talking and keep the ball rolling. So what are they talking about when the countdown is running down and nothing is happening on the draft screen? What are they talking about on the loading screen? What are they talking about during a pause, when one of the players has to pause because they have a bad connection, and now suddenly there's like 5 minutes long nothing happening at all? So what are the casters talking about in the meantime, right? Or like even simpler, when there's just nothing interesting happening in the game, like both teams just traded some blows and now they are all doing camps and there's like nothing really happening, like there's no action. How are the casters using this time available to them to do something which they might not have found time otherwise? Watch these casts, pay attention to these things, learn the tricks of the trade, so to speak, and also like pay attention to like how they narrate the action, like what they are focusing on, how they move their camera is another big one. All of these things are things which are important for your cast and which can make your cast a lot better if you really nail these. And it has nothing to do with having a very complex or good technical setup. Yeah, so also what you can look at is the kind of interaction which the casters have with their chat. What kind of commands are they running? We talked about Nightbot and the different things you can do with Nightbot. Maybe explore some commands on other streamers' chat. Type ! commands and see what kind of how they set up their Nightbot to interact, what kind of polls they run, and all these kind of things are possible there. So just go out there, have fun. At the beginning, keep things simple, and then once you feel comfortable, start incrementing in small steps while you keep casting. And I think then you will be on a good path. So I hope that motivates you to go out there and do some casting yourself. It's really a lot of fun, and a lot of people, especially in the beginning, they find that they suddenly spend more time casting games than actually playing, and this could happen to you too. And that's fine, as long as it's fun. Do whatever it is. And with that, we're gonna close this episode. As I said, everything beyond this one is purely optional. These are all things you can but do not have to add to your streaming setup. So I hope you explore a little bit further. Otherwise, have fun casting.